This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
You know what, Tom?
What?
I'm not feeling so hot. I don't think you're
really?
feeling so hot. And I
No,
just want to point
you
out...
know I'm not feeling so hot. Why are you saying I think you're not?
Well, I don't want to speak for you, Tom. That's not a nice thing to
Tim,
do.
you know that there are no secrets between me and the listeners, and that I fully intend on informing them that I am under the weather.
You have the flu, for Christ's sake. Do you know that you have the flu?
I don't know that. I haven't seen a doctor or anything like that. Let's not get crazy. No, but that's certainly what it feels like. Like initially it felt like a cold, but then just very achy, and like I didn't eat for a couple of days, like, felt nauseous, that kind of thing.
That stinks, Tom. And here you are talking into a microphone. We're not in the same room.
No.
But in the very next room from me is a toddler. My son is sick. So here we are. Couple guys. Wow. It's a Friday freaking night.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We should be sleeping.
Yeah. Hey, this isn't the idea I had in mind when I said I'd like to have a sick Friday.
Hey, yeah, I was talking about being stoked for a rager when I said I wanted it to be sick.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant, Tim. Really good addition to my joke there.
I was trying to think of other like sick things that I could say,
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of any. It's because I'm not feeling so hot.
So you said, well, you didn't say, you said your son's sick, but that you are also sick, or
I'm starting to feel it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
that's
also,
what happened to me in the beginning.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned that earlier.
Uh-huh.
But a thing that you learn to do when you have a toddler and they get sick, it's like, well, I should get my rest in now because I'm gonna get it, and
have to take care of a kid.
Yeah. But not me, Tom. We're podcasting through it right now.
Yeah, because we're professionals.
We're professionals, and there's two things, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very important week. It's a romantic week, and everybody expects us to come out with a really romantic episode, so everybody can get hot and bothered ahead of their Valentine's Day date night.
Yeah, we don't want to be accused of giving anybody blue balls waiting for our romantic episodes.
And this is the thing,
romantic episodes. Sounds like something that could get us both in trouble with our wives.
Do you think? I think like probably most of our listeners right now are listening. It's our listener and their significant other. Mm-hmm. They have this on in the stereo in their home.
It's never two listeners.
And it's no, exactly. And they're both getting ready for their big Valentine's Day night, and they're just listening to this and being like, "Ooh, this is really getting my juices flowing."
Yeah,
these two men are talking about a romantic topic. This week it's about marriage proposals, right? Mm-hmm. We'll get to that in a second. Mm-hmm. But I like to think like, the man is straightening his tie and the lady's got her, or look, if that's a heterosexual couple, sorry. Mm-hmm. Or two ladies with what I was going to say, curlers in their hair.
Right. They, of course, they can still have curlers in their hair.
I don't know how women get ready for things. They put curlers in their hair. I guess.
They put curlers in there mostly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
so that's how they have curly hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably how they're listening. Also, Tom, I had a question. I had a hypothetical.
The ones that have curly hair, they use straighteners when they're getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
The
Tom,
grass is always greener on the other side.
I don't like hair straighteners. They're too hot.
I don't personally use them. I'm surprised to hear that you do, but
no, my wife does, and sometimes I go in.
Oh, she leaves it
into
out.
the bath, or like it's even unplugged.
Yeah,
It's just like it's still hot. Still hot. I don't like it. I don't like things that hot in my home.
Yeah, it's true. Because, like, where are you even supposed to put that down? You can't really, right?
What do you do? Do you iron a shirt ever, Tom?
Yeah.
What do you do with the iron when you're done?
Oh,
you just leave it there?
Usually I put it on my kitchen counter for a while before I'll put it back in the closet.
Yeah, I do that too. But I'm also like, I had to make sure everyone in the house knows, like, there's a hot thing. There's a hot thing over here. Stay away from the counter. And I guess, like, I should definitely tell that to a 3-year-old, but I don't need to tell that to my wife. Who's
right.
She can see that, yeah.
She's aware of what irons are, how they're used, which way you should grab it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I have always a concern she's going to, like, fall into it or something. I guess I don't have to be. She's rarely falling into anything, hot or cold.
Right. Yeah. I'm unnaturally afraid of, like, of just something catching on fire, just something not being attended, being left, like, unattended, and then somehow catching. And, like, I don't think an iron that's not plugged in could do that. I'm sure it, like, rapidly loses temperature.
Yeah. I think I'm just haunted by a Who's the Boss episode I saw in 1989 where, you know, he left the iron down on a shirt, and I think it did start a fire.
Oh. Well, if you left it on a shirt and it was plugged in, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did that?
You know, Tony
Danza did it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's supposed to be a professional.
Maybe it was Angela. Well,
yeah.
Tony Danza and, like, the whole premise of that show.
The imaginary couple that you were talking about listening to the show right now. It's like, oh, here we go. All right, we're getting into Who's the Boss.
So Tony Danza just shows up on Angela's doorstep. Like, they don't know each other, right?
That's what the intro to the show led us to believe.
Yeah, and I
never saw the pilot. I don't know if it's the kind of thing where it was explained, like it actually did play out in the pilot, or if it's just it's just like Mr. Belvedere. It's explained through the intro, and the explanation is basically this family decided to let a stranger live in their house in exchange for that person being their servant.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And I just don't understand. I don't think Tony Danza had housekeeping experience in the backstory of that show, right? It was just like, yeah, I'll learn how to do it. How hard could it be? Right?
Yeah, it was just like he was like down on his luck. Maybe I think he was like a cleaner, maybe like because he had the van.
I thought he was like
a mechanic.
Thought he was a baseball player, but that's just because he was playing baseball in the. Remember he slides headfirst into home plate in the opening credits.
Oh yeah. I could see that being part of his backstory. They played like AAA ball or something like that.
Yeah, no way of knowing. I just thought, it just seems like an odd premise. Like, why would you have that? And then there was all the sexual tension in the house because resulting from their decisions.
Yeah.
Do they get together in the end?
I think they do get together in the end.
Yeah, I bet Mona was really pushing for it.
I think it was one of those shows too where like they got together, you know, like 4 seasons before the end, and there were multiple seasons where, or maybe not 4 seasons, but like 2 seasons where they're married, and the show loses its sparkle.
Should we just turn this show into a Who's the Boss rewatch?
Oh, I thought you were going to say a Who's the Boss reboot. Where,
I do.
Every week, one of us goes to the other one's house to like clean and get into hilarious misunderstandings.
With a horny
sexual
old mother-in-law
you could cut with a knife. Yeah, a horny old mother-in-law.
Yeah. She was
the kids were just annoying, right? Is that what their personalities were? I don't remember what their deals were.
It was Alyssa Milano and Danny Pintoro.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could do the rest of the cast. Catherine Hellmond as Mona. Tony Danza. What was Angela's name, though? Judith Light. Yes.
Yeah, come on. What is Angela's name?
Yeah, it's an all-star cast, Tom.
And Tony Danza's name was like Tony Banta or something?
I think that was his name on Taxi.
Oh, okay.
But it was Tony something.
Yeah. Yeah, a guy who could not act unless you used his real name.
Tony Danza seems like a nice guy. Tom, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? What are we talking about?
Because it's Valentine's Day week, Tim.
You know what else it is? It's the big game, and I had a question before we get into the steamy stuff.
Yeah. Here's something for the boys.
For the boys, so this Sunday is the big the Super Bowl. Are we allowed to say that? I'm giving you your chance to do your annual joke of we're legally not allowed to call it the Super Bowl.
No, I was thinking actually this year we should just say that we're the official podcast of Super Bowl. Was it 55? Something like that?
I think of 59.
59.
I think I was reading that in the newspaper earlier.
Yeah. We'll add the seal and everything to the artwork this week.
Who's going to stop us?
Who's
the commissioner?
Gonna stop us?
Roger Goodell?
Oh, he's going to come to us and say, hey, did you guys get that written permission we talked about in the beginning of every broadcast?
I'll say, yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's right here. And guess what? It'll just be forged. You can just get ChatGPT to spit something out.
Mm-hmm. It'll be anything. He's not going to read it.
It's true. It could just be a bunch of scribbles. He's a busy man.
Yeah.
All right.
All's in order.
I did my due diligence.
And that's why he's the commissioner. Tom, hypothetically, and this is not, I repeat, this is not an invitation.
Okay.
If I said to you, Tom, we're having some folks over for the big game on Sunday. Do you want to come over? I'm making some appetizers. Would you come over?
As long as I felt confident that I would not get anybody sick, that I felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to do this, mostly because my household is becoming sick. But I was gonna, and then I was like, I don't know if I don't think people want that. I don't think people want that from me. I don't think my non-football fan friends want a non-football fan friend inviting them over to their apartment on a Sunday evening.
Nah, I mean, people like an excuse to hang out, and watch commercials together.
Yeah. You see commercials are out already?
Yeah, they air, and like some of the commercials have changed already because of like problems.
Because of woke?
Because of woke. No, there was like a Google AI commercial that of course had fucking wrong information in it that they had to change.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like maybe there was one commercial that like in the time since it came out, like the allegations have come out about somebody, so they edited them out of the commercial.
Tom, you're not going to believe. I have word that some of the cast from a beloved film or TV show
what
will be recreating some piece of their film and TV show, but in a different context.
Oh, man. Well, that's certainly going to recapture the magic.
It is. And it'll be surprising, too. We're not going to expect anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, whatever happened to the Budweiser frogs, man? Bring those guys back.
What happened to the What's Up guys?
Yeah. Enough with the, like, I mean, all these, like, celebrity endorsements on things. I think especially maybe because I feel like I somewhat frequently see ads that have like fraudulent endorsements because social media is just like there are no rules anymore.
Yeah, it's just they put a picture of Taylor Swift in like a makeup ad. It's like,
yeah, and they're like,
makeup.
Yeah, she orders her makeup from Temu, from this place, from this drop shipper. But so I don't know. Like I never see a commercial nowadays. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You got Snoop Dogg? Holy cow. Like, yeah, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, hey, you hear that, Madison Avenue? We're not impressed.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you lay off the 3 martini lunches and try and come up with some new ideas?
Yeah, come up with some new frogs saying the brand name in a funny way.
Or even just bring back the same old frogs and have them say the brand name in a funny way.
Tom, I got bad news. Those frogs, long dead.
What?
Yeah, I mean, frogs, they don't live that long. And those frogs are all heavy drinkers.
You don't know that. Well, yeah, I mean, the drinking part you might know. But that
yeah,
frog, because sometimes turtles live very long.
Turtles do, Tom, but I just happen to know. And frogs can, but those were just particularly elderly frogs.
Oh, they were already very old?
Yeah, they're those. You've seen those frogs in many a Hollywood production.
Oh.
That's why I liked it so much. I recognized those frogs. Let's get down to it. The romance.
Yeah.
Everybody, time to turn down the lights.
Enough foreplay.
Light those candles.
Wait, so the foreplay, the candles come after the foreplay?
Huh?
In my mind, the candles have been lit this whole time.
When we were talking about who's the boss?
Yeah, that's the
and
best
the
time
Super
to
Bowl?
do it. Yeah. They're thinking
That's
about
whenever it's
the
getting all, like,
sexual
handsy.
tension between Tony and Angela. Thinking about
yes.
Mona's horny comments.
Yeah. Mona and her, like, silk blouses.
Anyway.
Mona seemed like she was 100 years old when I was a kid. I bet she's, like, our age, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. People just look different in their 40s.
I mean, that
80s.
is true. There are a lot of people online that like post pictures showing that. Because, yeah, sometimes you'll see a picture of like a 25-year-old in 1984, and it's like, that guy looks like he's 50.
Yep. Yeah. People were, I don't know, was it all the smoking? Was it that everybody smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the smoking and drinking, you know, the hard living. No, and nobody took care of themselves. Nobody knew how to take care of themselves.
That's true. Well, we're gonna get healthy again, Tom. But in the meantime, let's say you've been courting your SO for a while and you want to take it to the next level. You want a paper from the government telling everybody, hey, these folks are an item
for good,
recognized by the state. Well, then you're going to need to propose marriage.
It's so obvious to. Even the state knows.
Yeah. Tom, marriage proposals.
Yes.
It's something you're hearing about more and more these days.
Is it, though?
I guess so. I don't know. Right? Because of social media? Like you hear about people's marriage proposals?
Yeah, sure, I guess. Are you talking about like people you know or strangers?
All of the above.
Oh, okay.
We're going to hit it all this week, Tom.
Yeah.
Because it's about love.
That is the thing that like, before social media, when people got engaged, yeah, you heard about it through word of mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
But now with social media, it's like, well, you're expected to like announce something there. So then everybody knows. It's
funny when you think about it, and I understand why this has to be done. Look, anything I say, I'm not judging anything anybody's ever done. But also, like, we gotta laugh at ourselves, right, guys?
Sure. You're completely off the hook now, Tim. Who could possibly get upset at what you're planning on saying?
No, because it's not all that bad. I think it's just weird as civilians, right? As people who are just like, normal people. Like, people have like a PR strategy for like rolling out announcements of developments in their personal life, where it's like, I'm telling you this, but this is embargoed until the 16th when I'm going to post it publicly on my Instagram.
Yeah, I need you to actually sign this paper real quick.
But like, it is like, like people, you had to have that conversation, right? Like, or people like,
oh yeah,
like, or when you like see a couple like announce their engagement and like they post it at the same time on the same day or whatever,
Yeah.
and like they curate the pictures together. It's like, come on, guys, nobody cares. Nobody really cares about your life.
Well, I don't. That seems a little harsh. I mean, no, I was gonna say that like I know. I forget the specifics of it, but like when I got engaged, there was something with like some family member posting something on like Facebook before we had like told everybody, but it was also like we'd already like told the people close to us that we wanted to, so it was fine.
Well, that's how I found out, Tom.
It's not how you found out, Tim. You don't even know this person, so.
Yeah, I still don't know if you got engaged or not.
I mean, you do know that, and then you know that I got married after that.
Yeah, I found out about that through Facebook too.
You didn't find out about that through Facebook, Tim. You were there and you're only there because you said, "If I don't see with my own eyes, I'm never going to believe it."
It's true.
So I had to begrudgingly invite you.
Somebody finally tamed Tom Reynolds. This I gotta see with my own two eyes.
Yeah, every time the wedding came up, you would roll your eyes and go, "Yeah, right." When I was talking to other people about it, they were asking me questions about it. You would interrupt and go, "Guys, please don't waste your time.
This is Tom we're talking about."
He's lying to everybody.
So
you got me. I had to put my money where my mouth was and invite you so that you would stop. Well, I mean, you didn't stop until you actually did see it, but
and then as soon as you guys both said I do, I went like, well, I never thought I'd see the day. And then everybody, told me to sit down.
Yeah. I mean, it was wildly inappropriate to stand up and say it.
Well, I was
unnecessary.
I was being the bigger man. I was conceding.
Well, no, that's not. No, being the bigger man. I think you're confusing it with being the center of attention.
Tom, all I wanted to say is, I talked a big game. Didn't think you'd do it, and you know what?
Yeah, I remember
power to you, my friend.
You were saying all this during the ceremony, and everybody was screaming at you to shut up and sit down.
I know, but
Nobody
I'm
cared.
not too. I swallowed my pride and I said it.
That
was wrong.
That wasn't the problem, but anyway. But I get the need for kind of coordinated rollouts. I mean, and I look like announcing like an engagement and a baby. Those are like the only I don't know, real announcements that most people would care about.
Right.
Like you could achieve something in your career or whatever, but your second cousin isn't going to care about that. They're still not going to know what it is you actually do for a living.
Yeah, that's true. But also I don't know. First of all, my second cousins, I don't care about anything that they do.
Wow.
My cousins, I barely care about what they do. Just
wow.
Kidding. Just kidding. I love all my cousins, and I think some of them might listen to this show.
What about your cousins once removed?
What is that?
That is one generation removed. So that is your
my
parents' cousins. Their first cousins.
Ah, yeah. I don't know any of them, actually. Look, anyone related to me is cool, I guess. No. I just decided also I'm going to cut some people out of my life.
Wow. Well, it's unfortunate that this is what it took to realize that, but I am proud of you still for coming to that realization.
No, I'm kidding. I think, look, I'm always happy for people, but also enough already, right? And I think this is, look, proposals are nice.
Yeah.
And I think you should hire a photographer if you want to have those pictures for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, so there's the thing though, do you mean, because there are two types of pictures nowadays. There are, engagement pictures, which are just, you go to the Sears or whatever and they sit you down in the photo studio. And then there are the people that want like pictures of the act, that
Right.
they want
That's
like
what I'm talking
secret.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bigfoot shots, right?
Right. Yeah. Which
And people be like, is this real? Is this a hoax? We'll have to find out if they actually get married.
Yeah. And you'll have the video evidence. You'll have the proof.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't for me, but I don't like judge anybody else for doing that.
No, me neither. I think that'd be cool to have at some point. Yeah.
At some point, I'm gonna get those pictures of my own.
No, so I think you and I are similar people. Also, like, look, again, this is no judgment because I think I might be the weirdo here. Tom, this might surprise you. I might be the weirdo, the outlier.
Well,
here.
Tim, if that's the case, I won't hold back. I'll let you know.
I don't think anybody should ever be surprised with anything good. If you have something good, don't surprise somebody. What are you doing that for? Well, just let them know.
So you're saying you shouldn't, when you propose to somebody, it shouldn't be a surprise?
Yeah.
I mean, so how is it not going to be a surprise? Are you saying you should ease the other person into knowing it?
Okay. Well, Tom, first of all, before you got engaged, did you talk with your now wife about like, hey, should we get married or not?
Yeah. I mean, I had a pretty good idea that she wasn't gonna destroy me when I asked.
Did you have a pretty good idea, or did you have
no? I mean, we had
an
talked
explicit
about it.
Conversation of like, would you like to get married?
Yes, yeah. We'd already talked about spending our lives together.
Right. Tom, you talk like social media.
What does that mean?
We talked about spending our lives together.
I don't know.
And then before you were like, it wasn't for us, but we did. It's like, okay, just say it's wrong.
I think what I'm trying to say is like, we didn't talk, because I know some people, it's like they talked everything out, of like, here's exactly like we're going to shop for a ring together.
Right.
I'm going to tell you where I would like it to happen. We're going to go on a vacation where I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe, but I know it's going to happen. And, all those other things. What I'm trying to say is like, we did not have those levels of discussion, but we had talked, we already knew like, yeah, this is it.
Okay. All right. Good.
She was surprised when it happened. She wasn't expecting it like at that, moment or whatever. Right. And I think that was because, we had like discussed the general, but we had not.
She wasn't surprised that you were asking, though, right?
No. Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
She was surprised when it happened, but not that.
Right.
Not that it was happening.
I still think that's a low down, dirty thing you did. I don't think. I don't think you should aim to surprise anybody. Why would anybody ever want to be caught off guard?
Sometimes it's fun to get caught off guard. Don't you like going in a haunted house?
Well, no, but I know what's going to happen in there.
Sometimes
thrills,
you don't.
chills.
Then you haven't been. But remember, we went in that haunted house.
Then I'm upset.
Remember, we went in that haunted house at Six Flags, and you had to go through that like where you had to like push through like air-filled walls.
Oh,
Did you see that coming, or were you surprised by that?
I was surprised, and I didn't like it.
Oh yeah, I didn't like it either. It was kind of scary.
I even think like
claustrophobic.
Like, I don't know. Don't surprise people in front of other people, even with good things. Like if somebody, like if you're like, oh hey, some rich guy's gonna give me, $5 million, and right, like Wouldn't you hate it if you were like at a restaurant and like, they made a big deal and surprised you? Like, because it's like you're trying to make me emotional or something, right? You're
Yeah,
trying to
what,
put me
Tim?
in a position where I can't really, I don't have full control over my reaction to things. Why would I ever want to be put in that situation?
But here's the difference, Tim. Most people would just be focused on the $5 million and they kind of wouldn't care about the other parts. They would be like, wow, I'm so excited that as just a guy's giving me $5 million. I really don't care about the circumstances, especially because honestly,
you don't care where that came from.
Circumstances weren't that bad. It was me sitting at a restaurant.
Yeah, but what if that money was taken from an old couple that was their retirement savings?
Maybe they were both former Nazis that had fled Germany after the war and were hiding, and they just found them out.
Right, but if you're in the middle of the restaurant, how are you going to get to the bottom of this story?
You ever see that? They put like a 98-year-old Nazi in jail. It's like, burn in hell, you old shit.
Yeah, and part of me is like, man, I wish they got that guy like 50 years ago. But the other part of me is like, that guy thought he got away with it.
Yeah, now he's gonna die in jail, and he also thought like, even if they do catch me, now I'm surely too old to be put in jail, and then they put him in jail.
It's a pretty romantic episode so far, Tom.
Talking about putting elderly Nazis in jail where they die.
Yeah.
No, but I where I was gonna say I agree with you is there's also like two different types of proposals nowadays. One that's just like normal, that's been going on for, whatever, 50 years here, longer.
How do you define normal?
Just like one person getting down on one knee in front of another person and saying like,
traditional.
Traditional.
Let's say traditional.
Yes. Yeah. Traditional, which like, I don't even know how long that tradition goes back. I'm sure 100 years ago is probably different, but, there's that. But then there are people that are like, I want to make my engagement like a spectacle,
mm-hmm.
And if that's what the like person you're proposing to wants, more power to you. Sure, whatever. As long as you're not hurting anyone, or ruining anybody's day. But if that's not what the person you're proposing to wants, it's what you want because you're like a narcissist or like a content creator that needs to make every part of their life content.
Yeah, but if you're in that serious of a relationship with somebody and that's the kind of person you are, like they should be expecting that, right?
Maybe it's somebody that is love bombing them. They've only known them for a short time, and they're doing a flash mob to propose to them. Because there are people that do proposals at like sports games and stuff where they think I can pull off getting engaged to this person because they're going to be under pressure to say yes.
Do you think that's true? Because it's not like...
I don't think it's true all the time, of course, but I'm sure.
I actually know people who have gotten engaged on the Jumbotron, and I don't think it was a trap. I think it was a legitimately...
I'm not saying that they're all traps, but I'm saying that certainly there are some people that's that they're like, shit, I don't think she's gonna say yes, or I'm not sure she's gonna say yes, but if I ask in front of a stadium full of people, she's gonna have to say yes.
That's true, but like that's like a Rumpelstiltskin scenario where it's like, I got the loophole. You said yes in front of all those people, so like there's no way you can back out of it now.
Well,
like, if you don't want to marry that person, you say yes. So, or no, you say no in front of the arena. The arena erupts for you.
I mean, that's true, but that's also, I don't know if you want that kind of attention. But that, I think that's the only way you can explain the fact that that there are proposals in those places that go wrong. And I think it's like often the person proposing, usually a guy, is you know, like I said, just thinks like this is gonna work. There's no way this is gonna fail.
It also just feels like entering into a proposal situation where it's like, how do I make it so stack the odds in my favor here? It's like, well, you know what? Maybe you should rethink the whole endeavor at this point.
I mean, look, I'm not saying and it's the key to a good marriage is to pressure the other person into marrying you, but there are a lot of bad marriages out there. And how do you explain them other than surely
they got tricked into it on a Jumbotron?
got pressured on the Jumbotron into getting married. I mean, why else would they have it as one of the things you can check off on divorce papers next to irreconcilable differences? And then they also have I felt pressured because he asked me on the Jumbotron.
Yeah. That is the standard box. Tom?
Yeah.
All right. So I think what we've established here is you and I are both pro doing a little bit of legwork ahead of time, right? Make sure your significant other probably wants to marry you. If not explicitly wants to marry you before you propose, particularly in public.
This should not be the first time the topic is coming up.
What do you feel about the tradition of calling and either getting permission or, just informing, you're getting the blessing of your significant other's parents?
I did not do that, for the record. And it was...
Is it too scary? Was it too scary?
Well, certainly part of it's like scary and awkward, but also, and like I knew her parents would be happy. But also like it kind of felt like, oh, is that like, I don't know, is that like a dumb old tradition? Is that like, misogynistic? Is it?
Well, you did try to negotiate a dowry. I remember.
I mean,
I know that her dad almost
tradition.
kicked the shit out of you for bringing that up.
Well, I mean, we agreed to disagree.
You went there with a big empty sack with a dollar sign on it,
right? Yeah,
and another big empty sack and then another big empty sack that said grain on it. You wanted apparently money and just some grain.
And some grain.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't go bad, right? Yeah, you've always got it.
Grain?
Yeah.
Oh no, Tom, have you checked the bag lately?
What? No, don't tell me, Tim. Don't tell me the all the grain I've gotten from the other women I've married over the years isn't good.
Brother.
No.
Just in it for the grain. I should have known. That's what I yelled at when I stood up at your marriage.
You're just in it for the grain. Check the closet in his bedroom. Stuff full of moldy grain.
So you didn't do that, but
no. And we didn't tell anyone that day.
Okay.
Mostly because it was like already fairly late at night. So, yeah.
Cool. What else? Did you look at rings together?
No, we had not done that.
Okay.
Do you have a checklist you're going through here?
Yeah, I do because I was on like theknot.com before, and there's like a checklist of things to do.
Yeah.
But they were just like, hey, these aren't, as you said, Tom, it's not for everybody. Some things aren't for you. Some things are for other people.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying
And
to get
also,
a good sense.
Why are you taking the word of the Noid from Pizza Hut anyway? Like, what does he have? What does he know about
Wait, you thought I
marriage?
said thenoid.com? No, the
Yeah.
not.com.
Oh.
The not. Yeah, no, the Noid's website. I'm on the Noid's website for like pretty much everything else besides proposal
Right.
advice.
That's where you get. That's kind of your everything app.
You know what? I don't. I'm famously an AI skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
But if they perfected an AI Noid
Right. If they could
that I
bring
could
back the
access,
Noid.
yeah, that I could access through the Noid.com, and he could like
Mhm.
advise you on things.
Right. The
I'd
finances, legal matters.
I'd run most of my decisions by the Noid,
Yeah.
as
It
long as
couldn't
the
hurt.
AI was accurate, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as it had citations or something like that.
Yeah. Did you kneel down on a knee?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what some people do
Mm-hmm.
is that they hire a proposal coordinator. Do you know about this?
Oh, I did not know about this, but I'm not shocked to hear that.
Yeah, and it's like it makes sense. Like if you're gonna do one of those things where like you fly in like your significant other's family and friends
Oh
all
yeah, yeah.
secretly, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like I want to do it in a picturesque place of part of Central Park or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
where there are consultants being like, all right, here's the best place to do it, where like,
Yeah.
okay, we can put a photographer over here and a
Yeah, the
videographer over
lighting's
here.
good there, and
Yeah, and like here's where the people can hide, where you can walk by and they won't notice them, but then they'll all pop out. And I think there's something funny about like, you know, this seems like too much coordination, and also like I think myself and my wife would have died if we had any of like this type of attention on us for more than 2 seconds. But like, you know, like you're walking through the park and there's, you know, like her, you know, high school best friend is sitting on a
her high
bench,
school
but
boyfriend.
she's got like
He's there saying, "Please, don't do this."
I'm like, look, man, check it out. You blew it.
He's like, I didn't know this was why I was being flown out here.
You know, or like you know, a beloved family member sitting on a bench, but they got a newspaper up in front of their face, right?
Yeah,
as you're
with two
walking
eye
by,
holes.
Yeah, but then you propose, and the newspaper comes down, and she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
There's something fun about that.
Well, like I said, we didn't even like tell anyone that night. I get why some people want to make it like a, you know, like a big thing, but we want it to be more of a like, you know, personal thing between the two of us before we like told everybody.
Mm-hmm. I know also situations, I think plural situations where you know, where I've heard stories from people I know that like doing that blew the surprise because like
because they
in this
saw
age of
somebody
social
or-
media, yeah, exactly, like you're posting that you're in this city, and then like, you know, the person who doesn't know that the proposal is coming is scrolling through Instagram. It's like, oh, these 3 people are in the same city as I see what's going on.
You gotta tell. I mean, why are you hiring a coordinator if they're not going to say, hey?
I think these were probably done without a coordinator.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
or a low budget coordinator.
Yeah. I would love, like, you gotta find that niche, right? Some bullshit thing, right? And like bullshit in like the grand scheme of things. I think most of what anybody does for money for a living is kind of like bullshit jobs, right?
Yeah,
except for like people who like do things to help people,
right? Or like make things,
yeah,
like tangible things you can hold in your hands,
right? Or like distribute necessities to people who need them, yeah. But just find your niche and be like, okay, like you and I just like talking about like, what does a proposal coordinator do? Like just drill down and be like, all right, what are the things that you need to know? Like, find that niche and just be like,
Mhm.
okay, nobody else is doing this.
Yeah.
I don't care about this, but like, it couldn't be that hard to just think this thing through and execute it, right? And then like you're the main guy who does that.
Yeah. I mean, well, and anything attached to like the wedding industry is also like, automatically 3 or 4 times more expensive.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly like, how do you find customers that way? Do you
Word of
just
mouth.
walk around the city looking at people trying to decipher if they're in love or not?
No, you go to thenoid.com and you post.
Okay, you ask him.
You let the Noid know about your services and be like, hey, man. And like, if you're cool,
he knows
if you're
a lot
cool
of
with the
people.
Noid. Yeah, if anybody comes to him for proposal advice, the Noid would be like, look up Tim and Tom, their proposal.
Oh, you're saying we should do this?
We should do it. We should go into business.
Do you remember, Tim, we were involved in a proposal once, a listener proposal.
Oh, did we blow that?
No. I think it was just, we were probably like a disappointment, We had been asked by somebody who said, they were going to be in New York with their significant other, and their significant other like the show. I mean, I think probably really like the show. They probably don't listen anymore. They got married. They've got other things to do now. Yeah. But
right. Married stuff.
Yeah, you know what that means. Between the sheets.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were like, yeah, we're I think it was, we're going to similar to what you were saying, like we're going to stop at a few places, and like I thought it'd be really fun if we like stopped at a bar and you guys were there, and like she would think that's crazy. And it was like we were like, all right, well, will you come to the bar that we go to all the time? we'll basically just like do what we were gonna do, but we'll tell you, and then you can show up there. And then I think me and you were like the most nervous out of anyone for all this, and so we got really, really drunk.
Yeah, I think we were also like, we're always late for everything.
Yeah.
So we need to go there like
early.
3 hours before.
Right. And then when they showed up, I think the guy had already proposed, like it had already been done. But we were like so worried about blowing it, and they had to explain to us like, no, first stop yelling, and second, like it already happened.
Yeah, I have a vague recollection. Just being hammered at the pencil factory, right?
Yeah,
Pencil factory.
At the pencil factory.
And I think it
which
ended.
is a bar, not a pencil factory.
Hey, it's debatable, right?
Yeah,
some nights,
like, oh
I
boy,
wonder.
Yeah. Of course, these two nerds were hanging out at the pencil factory on a Friday night.
I just remember, I think it kind of ended with like the two of them being like, all right, guys. Yep. Yeah. So, no, we'll see you later. Yep. Okay.
Where are you going?
No, we really got to go. Yeah. I think we were like very much like, we'll show them a good time. And probably came on a little strong.
We'll show them a good time. And you know what that means, being loud.
Tom, what do you think about these lab-grown stones instead of lab-grown diamonds instead of blood diamonds?
I thought you meant that they had somehow found a way to clone the Rolling Stones.
Hey, they don't need to, man. Keith is immortal.
I think they're fine. Like, I think it's a great idea. Why not?
Yeah, cool. I'm with you. Remember when in the 90s when people were like, cubic zirconia, I hope she doesn't figure out about that. She'll find out you cheaped out.
That was a joke in every episode of every sitcom for like a good decade there, just about. And that was also always like the joke about like the Home Shopping Network, that's what they were always selling, cubic zirconia. But now I guess they've got these lab grown diamonds that are identical. It's just that they're made, in a lab instead of in nature. But but as a result, you don't have to like send children into mines to find them. So I think, and it's cheaper, so I think it's probably a net positive.
Yeah, and also like none of that matters.
Well, yeah, I mean, all that stuff, it's all, what was it, De Beers that like came up with the idea of like, a diamond ring being what you give, and it should be 2 months salary. And everybody was like, well, I guess if the company that sells diamonds says, it must be the tradition.
I buy my wife a diamond ring every month, Tom.
Wow.
Just to stick it to De Beers. Because I'm just like, no, I'm not going to buy it on your schedule. I'll buy it as often as I want, Mr. De Beers.
How is that sticking it to them?
Because they tried to tell me how to buy their product, but I'll tell them how I buy their product.
Right. Well, I'm sure they respect you for it.
More frequently.
Tim, what do you think about marriage proposals gone wrong?
I don't like them. I don't like marriage. This is my. I think this is the crux of my like. Don't ever try to surprise anybody, because I don't want to be around for a marriage proposal gone wrong.
Well,
I don't like cringe comedy, Tom.
Well, Tim, nowadays it can happen virtually even. Do you know about this proposal that happened in Spider-Man for PS4?
What the hell are you talking about? Why would I know about that, Tom?
So this guy, this like fan of the game, he wrote into the studio like, hey, I want to propose to my girlfriend. Can you like put it in the game somewhere? And like, she'll be playing it. And, I'll tell her like, oh, you should go check this place out. And then she'll see, a big sign. And they were like, that sounds great. And they put like a sign, like a movie theater sign in the game, says like, will you marry me, in the person's name. Well, the game comes out. Of course, like people find that in the game and they're like, oh, what's the story? So the studio's like, says the story, and everybody, of course, wants to know what happened. And the guy chimes in. He's like, yeah, bad news. It didn't work. And she dumped me. And she's like dating my brother now. Like it's awful. And then, of course, gamers online took that with a grain of salt, Tim. They didn't just immediately decide to,
ruin this woman's life.
Try and have police kill this woman by swatting her or whatever. So then she comes out with her story.
Herstory, they call it.
Herstory. So he's like, yeah, it didn't work out, but can you like change it? Because they were like, we'll remove it from the game. And he was like, no, actually, like if you could change it to like a tribute to my grandmother who recently died, because she's the one that got me into Spider-Man. And it's like,
were they like, all right, come on, man, like
you would think that they would be like, no, we didn't say, should we change it to something else you want? We offered to remove it if it, if it's a painful memory, if it bothers you. Well, so then it turns out the woman comes out and she's like, hey, so like, yeah, I dumped this guy a while ago. I don't play video games. I don't like video games. He liked video games. He liked them so much that we didn't do anything, and I dumped him for it. So the fact that he then thought, well, I know how I'll get her back. I'll put a proposal in a video game. So yeah, it didn't go over too well.
Tom, that is a classic proposal gone wrong.
Yeah. But sometimes, Tim, proposals going wrong aren't because of somebody saying no.
Is it because they hide the ring in the mashed potatoes and then the lady chokes on it?
Sometimes that is a proposal gone wrong. If somebody chokes to death on the ring instead.
She doesn't even have to choke to death. It's just like, why would you put it in the mashed potato? What is the what is the good scenario that I had to put this potato ring on my, it's covered in potatoes?
Do you even, like, what are you referencing? What specific thing did you see?
I think it was a sitcom.
Yeah. Tim, do you remember this engagement fail at Disneyland Paris in 2022?
Oh yeah, the House of Mouse really took a
Yeah,
walloping on that one.
A German visitor, Auntie, planned an elaborate marriage proposal to his girlfriend at Sleeping Beauty's castle. After months of preparation and securing verbal permission from a park employee to use a restricted performance stage, Auntie knelt to propose, only to have another Disneyland Paris employee abruptly snatch the engagement ring mid-proposal and usher the couple off the platform. This was a big viral clip.
Yeah. If they were looking for attention, they got it.
The couple?
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a big part of it, because if you're like, I mean, what do you say? Like, hey, babe, come with me real quick. We're going to go up on the stage. She's going to be like, wait, what do you mean? No, I don't think we can go up there. There's, a gate block. No, come on. We'll go up on. Okay, why? Why would we go up on the stage? There's nothing up there. No, so everybody can see us. So I'm already thinking like, it's. I know you don't like a surprise, but I feel like a spoiled surprise, like 15 seconds before, is worse.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because then you get the surprise, you still get the shock, but not like I don't know, the enjoyment,
not the benefit. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Disney claimed that the stage was going to have like pyrotechnics going off where they were, and that it was a safety issue. That's why they were told to leave. But
is that true?
I'm not sure. It looked like a regular stage to me. Maybe there are some pyrotechnics on there, but it's like, all right, but I mean, there wasn't a show going on. They wouldn't have been launching the pyrotechnics.
Yeah, but at the risk of sounding like somebody's uncle.
Yeah.
Like, you could be sure if they were up there and that stage collapsed under them because, whatever, they would have sued Disney, right? Like,
that's true. Yeah. And also, I
am somebody's uncle. Few people's uncle. I can say shit like that. Hey, I'm the uncle they're talking about that, you can own at Thanksgiving.
Man, Tim, I can't wait till one of your nieces or nephews owns you. Can't wait till we're recording.
It's happened already, my man.
We're recording this, and they're like, well, it happened. I got thoroughly owned at Thanksgiving dinner.
Could never go back to Thanksgiving dinner again.
I could also see this being Disneyland Paris, that like he asked an employee if they could do this, and the employee just, exhaled their cigarette and was like, I don't can do it. Do whatever.
That's what is that how they act?
Yeah, that's how they acted when I was at Disneyland Paris. When I was at Disneyland Paris, that was the place where the French were the meanest. All the employees at Disneyland.
They've had enough.
Yeah, I saw one of them give another one the finger.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. And then when I fainted, nobody even came over to check on me. But yeah, they gave these knuckleheads like a free weekend or something.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also one of these things where it's like, the fiance accepted, but the couple said they were saddened. Auntie lamented, Disneyland stands for dreams. Our moment was destroyed. Disney apologized and offered a free weekend at any park, which the couple declined, stating they can't give us our moment back. Disneyland doesn't stand for dreams. Or are you, a child? Yeah. It's a way to make money.
Yeah, it's been described as an quote ATM
Yeah,
for one of the most profitable companies on earth.
yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, we need some money for something. Like, raise the prices at the theme parks. People won't stop going to them.
Yeah. Look, I've been to Disneyland Paris and I enjoyed it. Well, except for the rude the rude employees.
That's kind of part of it. You don't want to go to Paris and be treated well.
I was treated well everywhere else in the city. But like, if you're like, oh, it's supposed to stand for this, like, grow up, you idiot.
Grow up and take the free thing, man.
Yeah, and take the free thing. Oh, I'm standing on principle. I'm sure the crisis PR person or whatever was like, okay, you don't want to, fine. I've got a million other fires to put out.
You know what I do think?
I've got to bury all these incidents where people have been killed at the park.
I do like about a public proposal. I think it's like the last thing in society where, like, if you're out in a public place and a couple gets engaged, everybody stops for a minute and like applauds and is like genuinely happy for them. And I don't think there's like any other scenario where like people are like, hey, something's happening to somebody else, and like the overwhelming consensus is like, hey, we're happy that a good thing happened for this person.
Yeah. I was going to challenge you and say like, what about when they sing happy birthday at a restaurant?
No, some people are that. No.
But I'm not happy for that usually, like, especially if I look over and it's like some bald asshole's birthday. I'm like, all right, if it's a kid, I'll sing, but like, I'm supposed to sing? I don't even know this guy.
I don't think anybody's asking you to sing, Tom.
No, a lot of times the waiters, they'll come over and they'll be like, are you singing?
Oh my God.
I can't hear you. And then they start the song over again.
Wow. It's a lot of pressure.
It is
they put
a lot
spotlight
of pressure
on you. This man didn't sing.
They make me stand on the table sometimes too.
Well, that's
the last time the guy made me stand at my own dinner. It's humiliating.
All right, that's enough. Shut it down. We're done.
If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. You can find our links to our Discord, our subreddit there. You can also check out patreon.com/complete guide for our Patreon. This week, we're doing Amazing Facts, the return of Amazing Facts.
Yeah, we did it a year ago, and we called it The Return 2024. So guess what this one's called?
You'll have to tune in to find out. Patreon.com.
It costs you $5 to know.
Actually, I think
it's just $5 for just the title reveal.
No, I think you can actually see the titles without paying. Don't put the title in the title.
And lock it in now on Patreon, because starting next month, we're going to institute, it's going to be like a 900 number. It's not going to be $5 a month. It's going to be $5 a minute.
Wow. Like a 976 number.
Yeah, exactly. So, sign up now and you'll get grandfathered in.
That's good advice. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have any.
I have one more tip.
Oh, okay.
If you're planning on proposing to your significant other, make sure it's a place where there's not going to be a bunch of teens around.
Oh, yeah.
And then if there's a bunch of teens, I think the teens would probably ultimately be happy for you. But, like, you're going to get cold feet, and then you're going to have to, like, wing it a little bit and go to a different part of the park and propose there where there's no teens around. And then you're going to feel a little bit off balance.
Because guess what?
It's still going to work out nicely, though.
If you propose in front of those teens, be ready to hear somebody yell out, "He's got a boner!"
Well, here's the thing, Tom. This is ripped from the pages of my life.
You have a boner?
No. I had a whole plan. And then I was like, "There's too many teens around." Like it was like a nice picnic in the park, but there's like it was a crowded park.
Do it. Propose.
Yeah, and I was in Amsterdam. We were in Amsterdam, and I was like, I don't know what these like Dutch teens are like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All I know is that
they might be vicious or they might be supportive, but like
I can
I'm not rolling the dice.
Thoughts with these wooden clogs making all this racket.
Yeah. So I had to be like, I was like, I have something to ask. Oh, never mind. I'll ask.
There's a group of teenagers come around the corner.
So yeah, just I think that's what the proposal consultant could do is just like advise. They'll know where the packs of teens are.
Yeah, they'll advise you to do it during school hours. Yell the best shot. Or at least they'll know. Well, any kids that we do see, they're truant and
it's the worst kind.
Gonna yell, "He's got a boner!" as soon as the proposal happens.
I think the proposal coordinator needs to know when they just need to shut it down before it happens, lest a proposal gone wrong happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're standing on a hill, and they see teens rounding the bend. That's when they come running down the hill going, "Don't do it!
Don't
Stop!
do it! You're going to be humiliated."
Newspaper. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.